It's Sean, RJ, and Bobby. Happy Friday to everyone, including Coach, who's joining us now on 105.3 The Fan. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Okay, scenario time. You got 40 minutes to be at work. You go and start the car, and the battery is absolutely dead. What is Mike McCarthy doing in that situation with 40 minutes to get to work?
Oh, well, I think it depends on what era I'm in. In my younger days, I pop the hood and get to work. But
Yeah.
in today's world, I'm making phone calls.
Okay, but who are you calling? When's the last time you've been in a ride share, an Uber or a Lyft?
Shoot. Yeah, it's within a year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I know they're fancier ones.
There are fancier ones, yes.
Sorry.
There are. It's called Not For Us.
I thought Coach was definitely going to go with a Pittsburgh guy is not going to be, like calling the Uber or Lyft like I did. He's either changing out the battery. Does everyone have a spare battery, though, in their garage?
Jumper cables.
The jumper cable.
Yeah,
I thought
cables.
Coach was going jumper cables right there. Yeah.
Yeah, jumper cables, definitely. But I don't, it is a different day and age, and just fortunate to have a second car too. So that'd probably be my first reaction.
Are you a good handyman around the? And my car died, so I had to get the ride share. I can't get my hands dirty like that this morning, so I barely made it in for you, Coach. But are you a good handy guy?
Not with automobiles, but used to do a lot of construction with my father growing up. Because
nice.
He had duplexes and apartments that he was always renovating and fixing up. So did a lot of that. But actually, I don't do much of it now because actually my wife really enjoys that.
Really enjoys
cool.
it.
Wow. You get a flat tire on the road. You change it yourself, though.
Today?
Today.
Maybe not today, but I've changed plenty of tires in my younger days for sure.
He's calling the helicopter to come pick him up.
Yeah, I'm driving a better vehicle these days too than those younger days.
Those run flats are amazing.
Coach, just take us through some of the memories that come into your mind as you get set to take on Dan Quinn. As we obviously know about his history here, and a nice job really turning around y'all's defense. Just what kind of has gone through your mind about the DQ memories this week?
Well, I think number one, just starting to talk about Dan. I just you think about the personal relationship that we have, and those are times that I know I miss, and then just the simple things, the long conversations, in his office or in my office. He's generationally we kind of came up in this league at the same time, so I've always appreciated his music taste, which was always blaring in his office. So at the end of the day, so we were here a lot together. At the end of the day, particularly Thursdays and Friday nights. So I definitely miss his friendship.
And what was a common genre that you guys agreed upon?
Probably boxing. We talked a lot about boxing, and I think just the great the great heavyweight division of the 70s, and the great fighters that we all admired growing up. When the Four Kings Netflix series came out, we were both really into that because you just remember those days.
Coach, I saw you at the fight. Little quick sidebar. Choppy was also there. Disappointing you guys didn't meet up.
We did not see each other. He was in a better seat.
That's right. But Choppy says that a boxing fight, in his opinion, is like the biggest electricity event if it's a good one. Could you see yourself agreeing with that? Just the electricity of a big fight being there?
Oh, definitely. I was so impressed with the whole atmosphere at AT&T. I wasn't at the Canelo fight, and everybody was talking about how electric that evening was too. But yeah, I'd have to agree. It's a different atmosphere, but definitely the electricity was outstanding.
Mike McCarthy here on the Fan. Back to DQ. Their defense, isn't anything fantastic, but just like scheme-wise, Coach, is this pretty much what he was doing here? As much as you're, allowed to, I know you're allowed, but as much as you're willing to say about it, scheme-wise, is it looking like really, really familiar to the Cowboy days?
Yeah, the foundation of it is, the starting point, particularly in the sub packages. Philosophically, Joe Witt is really pivoted off of what was done here. Joe was involved in the construction of the defense here. So now, just like all of us, when you do get a chance to coordinate, you take it, the direction you truly believe in. And I think Joe's done a really good job there. But yeah, there's a lot of the similar concepts, but the variations in how it's being called is definitely tailored more to Joe.
Coach, a lot of your depth had departed this offseason and ended up in Washington on offense and defense with Tyler Biadasz, even former players like Noah Brown over there now, Noah Igbenogany, just different guys. Which is more advantageous for you guys, do you feel like, at times? Is it the familiarity with the scheme and the coaches, or the familiarity with some of those players on the other side?
I think they go hand in hand, frankly. I think like anything, you really break them down separately at the beginning of the week. The first thing we do on Monday, we get together there at dinner time is we have a personnel meeting, and our personnel department does an excellent job of coming in and giving us a forecast of what they've seen in the most recent update of the past game. So and then with that, the coaches have already really started their pre-prep. Probably Thursday, Friday, the week before, and you tie it together. But they're both very important, and I think it helps when you do have connection to the players and also to the schemes that they're running.
Mike McCarthy joined us here at 105.3 The Fan. Has Jaden Daniels exceeded the evaluation that y'all had on him, coming out of college? Is he the same type of player?
Oh, I wouldn't say so. I think that whole group, it was an excellent group of young quarterbacks, and and I think they've all have started out the right way. Now it's just like anything; it depends on what team you go to and the opportunity you have, and just having a rookie quarterback, really only going through it one time. From my personal experience, as much as it is to put on is the young man ready to play the position, and how fast is he success? I think it's critical. If you look at the history of rookie quarterbacks that have been successful, it's what's around them is probably most important. So when you do have a excellent defense and a run game and things like that to go with it, and I always look back at Ben Roethlisberger when he took over with the Steelers there. So and had a great rookie year, but it was an established team. So I think when you put around those guys is important, and I think all those young quarterbacks are doing a really good job. It was an excellent class, and he was definitely up at the front.
Coach, there was a lot of Lamar comparisons with the running style. Does he run as much as Lamar, and are they similar as runners, or definitely different?
Well, I mean, similar. I'd say closer to similar than different. I think the fact that how they're being used, there's definitely a responsibility for the quarterback to run in their system. Maybe not as much as Lamar, but I think Lamar is really in a class by himself.
Yeah.
And I think you have to be careful to compare anybody to him right now. I think just the way he's played the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, he's playing at an MVP level every year.
Yeah.
This young man's off to a great start, and I think the other thing too. I think his passing traits are top notch too, and he'll continue to grow, particularly in the concepts that he's in, and having better touch and feel for those. But he can make any throw to any part of the field.
Coach, Micah kind of lit up at his locker yesterday talking to the media when he was talking about the opportunity to play this week against Washington and get that competitive opportunity against Dan Quinn. Is that something you're noticing throughout the locker room this week with guys? Is a little bit of extra competitive juice, knowing like, oh, hey, we get to go against an old friend of ours. This will be something that gives us a little bit of extra juice this week.
Oh, I think it's that's all part of it. I think it's really the division game. Playing Washington has always brought energy. As long as I've been here, so all of our division opponents bring that to the table. I think when you're the Dallas Cowboys, you're everybody's rival, and that's part of the responsibility and how you have to train and the mindset you have to be in. So I think it starts there, and yeah, definitely Dan. And there's like I said, there's a lot of former comrades in Washington too. So that always brings extra competitive juice, and I think we're just seeing Micah get back to full strength. Micah had his best practice yesterday. I thought he was outstanding yesterday. He was flying all over the field. So I think it's always a number of things. But in the other part too is it's a short week. This game is really coming fast.
Coach, I wanted to ask you because we're all focusing on a tough stretch here every single day. Who has played? Let's give some props to someone who we're not talking about enough. Who is someone? Because Coach broke down the other day emotionally over Marquise Bell, and that just got me to thinking. Who is someone else that has been standing out to you here over these past few weeks that we're not highlighting enough?
Oh, offense or defense? Where would you like to start?
Whoever, John. One of each.
I would say Cooper Beebe, just because for a rookie to play center in this league and to do it as consistently as he's done it has been really impressive. I mean, not only the physical part and all the stunts and games that we've been experiencing, as far as the challenge up front, but just to handle the mental and the emotional and the communication responsibility. I think he's been a steady rock in there. So I've been very impressed with him. And I would probably jump to defense and go right to Overshawn. I think he's a young man that just keeps getting better and better each week. He makes flash plays, but his consistency of just being all over the field and just a better understanding of the defense. Every time he goes out there. So I'd say those two guys.
Mike McCarthy joined us here on The Fan. You mentioned this tough stretch here with a short week, and you're coming off a short week. Do you find this stretch, the Sunday, Thursday, to be the most difficult to navigate, every year?
I think if you go through it for the first time, just being fortunate to be in the league, even in Green Bay, it seems like we played Detroit probably every other year or every third year over there. So I do have experience with it. So I think when it's new to you, it's probably difficult, but it's really today's NFL. I mean, let's be honest, they're going to be playing football games every day of the week before long. I just think it's just the world that we live in, and the training regiments are smarter, than prior. I know to earlier in my head coaching career, I think I have a better understanding of what you can get done in a 6-day week versus 7-day week, an 8-day week, or a 4-day week. So I think experience it does. I don't think it's as much as a big deal, and our guys, they deal with it every year, so it's just kind of normal here.
I know you've mentioned that Cooper Rush gives you all the best chance to win, that game that day. But a lot of fans do want to see Trey Lance play. How far away is he? What does he still have to show you in practice to get that playing time?
Well, I think you've really answered the question. When we start each week, it's you build a plan and you try to set your lineup to win the game, and it's not really what Trey needs to do. I mean, Trey's really done everything that's been asked of him. I mean, he's developing. He has I think a really good understanding of the offense. We have done things for him package wise if that opportunity does present itself. So, but it's not as much about what he needs to do. We just feel that Cooper has established himself as the number two, and that's the way we're going right now.
Coach, Cliff Kingsbury spent some time away from the NFL, went to USC, has come back and has had a lot of success here with this Commanders offense, and particularly running the ball. Is there anything that you've seen on tape this week that says, oh, okay, I see some of the different philosophy changes he's had here, or is it just some of those concepts are having better success that he was using back in Arizona?
I think it's a combination of both, mainly really just what he's always done. I mean, Cliff was, part of the, Air Raid family and, what he did in college. So, I think really the up-tempo stuff is the best part of his offense, in just my opinion. I've always appreciated the speed and the ability to conceptually throw volume with that. So I've always been a fan of Cliff's. I had a chance to coach Cliff back in the my New Orleans Saints days. So I've always liked his mindset and his mind for football. But you can always I think it's really in the last 10 years or so you would say the impact of college football on pro football has been pretty fluent, so everybody pays attention to what goes on in college and vice versa in the NFL.
Well, Coach, my mom is on the way to the airport in Maryland, getting ready to fly out here for Thanksgiving, but she wanted to pass along. She is such a fan of you on the interviews, so I had to say that and pass it along. So well done again, and good luck in Washington. We look forward to next week.
All right, I appreciate that. You guys have a quick week, I guess. When are we up? We up Friday or what's the schedule?
Yeah,
I don't actually know.
Peyton, get on the mic.
Yeah, it'll be next Friday.
I guess everything's not a routine.
All right, get it.
Used to this by now.
All right, get out of here.
Have a good week or so. Whatever. I'll talk to you next.
Thanks, Coach. There he is, Mike McCarthy, here on your Home of America's team.